Pizza Hone, and it's time for another draft video. I post one at a minimum every Monday and Thursday. I think this one will be up between Monday and Thursday, probably on like Wednesday, because I had some extra time this week. I've had extra time most weeks to get at least one draft recorded so far, and that's been pretty nice. I've enjoyed this format. It's multifaceted enough to remain interesting, but it also has like a nice aggressive element that we didn't see in our last set in Dominaria, so it's been nice doing that. So this pack isn't like a great one, but I think it's between Gravedigger and Electrify. Electrify is a nice removal spell. Gravedigger is a nice creature who basically guarantees you a 2-for-1. You know, he does ask for a little setup, but not much. I mean, every deck is going to be good with Gravedigger. Starcrown Stag and Volley Veteran, I guess, are sort of the next tier. Maybe Gallant Cavalry's in there too, but I think we take Electrify. It is removal. You know, it's sort of a blurred line between premium and non-premium removal, but I think it's pretty good, and I think it's going to be better most of the time than Gravedigger. So we will take the Electrify. Okay. Horizon Scholar is really good. Druid of the Cal is too, but I think Horizon Scholar is better. If this were pack one, pick one, I would consider the Poison Tip Archer. It's just that strong. Like, between the ability to kill anything it blocks, it also happens to damage your opponent every time any creature dies, and that's a pretty ridiculous card. It's worth splashing when you can, and it's worth trying to first pick and see if that color pair is open or if you can splash it. But given we've already taken Electrify, I think taking Horizon Scholar is better. It's a great card, and I'm happy to take it. I think I would probably still take the Scholar over the Archer in that pack too. Pack one, pick one, now that I think about it, because Scholar is really good. I don't think it's quite as good like in a vacuum. If I could choose to have one or the other in play, I'd probably pick the Archer most of the time. But being one color, I think, gives it the extra edge it needs. Okay, so a third pick Dryad Greenseeker is a pretty good sign. That card is really strong. I think maybe some people are still underrating it. I think it's one of the best uncommons. I would first pick it over either of these cards, which might sound crazy, but the ability to draw you cards is a good way to win games. And a 1/3 body in this format blocks a lot of things really well, including Cavalry Drillmaster, for example, or a Plague Mare or whatever. So yeah, I think we take the Dryad Greenseeker. We could take a blue card here. The Scholar of Stars is nice if you can get 5-6 artifacts. Totally Lost is fine, but it's nothing special. The Greenseeker, I think, is by far the best card in this pack, followed by Plague Mare. So we'll take the Greenseeker. It's not bad to take like 3 different cards with your first 3 packs, because you're sort of, taking the best available card is sometimes what you should be doing, and frequently is in the early part of a draft. Okay. Well, this pack isn't a great one, no matter how we look at it. Manalith is nice for fixing, but I don't love it. I would rather, I'd rather pick up the dual lands in this set or Rupture Spire than Manalith, unless I'm a blue-white deck and have other reason to play artifacts. Bookcase is okay. I think we take Disperse. Doesn't feel great to take a third pick Disperse, but I think it's what we do here. It's a good card. It's a fine card, but not like third pick material most of the time. But that's what we did here, and that's okay. So yeah, it's not clear where we're going. We haven't seen any exciting red or green cards apart from these. Honestly, we haven't seen any exciting blue cards apart from Horizon Scholar, because Disperse isn't quite exciting, I wouldn't say. It's not the kind of card that makes you glad you're in a color combination. Okay, another Disperse. There's also a Goblin Instigator, who I like a reasonable amount. I think that's probably what I take. Skeleton Archer is nice too. I like the Instigator more than Disperse. Being able to go wide is nice. Granted, if we end up in red-blue, the best pump spells are white, so that's something to keep in mind. There's Trumpet Blast in red, but even without pump spells, though, it's a nice little creature. Yeah, I think I take it over the Archer, especially, and more so over the Disperse, I guess, because we already have 2 blue cards. But I think I'll take the Instigator here. There is something to be said for Psychic Corrosion. Like, I know some people have had good experiences with it, but I think unless you're already like securely in a nice control deck, it's not the best idea. Now, if we see another Psychic Corrosion coming, then we can start sort of thinking about it, because there's a good chance the other one wheels. And then if you get 2 of them, you're really in business, especially in this color pair where we can get Tormenting Voice and Sift and things like that. I just don't like taking it early, because especially when there's a perfectly playable card in the pack, because it's basically unplayable in a deck if you don't end up in a deck that can stall. Because it's just not going to win you the game before your opponent kills you if that's how you're trying to win the game most of the time. And you can't know whether or not your deck's going to be good at making the game go long this early. And yeah, it has really high upside, but it also has an abysmal downside. For me, that's enough of a reason to avoid it. Okay, I think I like Salvager of Secrets here. So we're ending up in sort of a grindy deck. We already have Disperse and Electrify, both of which are nice to get back, especially Electrify. So I think I'm going to take the Salvager here. Yeah, we take it over like Active Treason and Fire Elemental. For sure. So it's not looking like we're going to be green. Of course, then there's this pack, which has, you know, a playable green card. Nothing exciting, though. I think we just take the Omen Speaker. It's another 1/3, which are nice stats in this format for slowing down aggressive decks. And the Scry effect makes it so it's relevant at all stages of the game. So even in the late game, normally you're not excited to get your 2-mana 1/3, and you're not overjoyed to see this one. Don't get me wrong. But it does something. It makes your draws a little better. Okay, here I think we just slam the Enigma Drake and try to be a blue-red deck. I mean, it's already where we are. Spark-Tongue Dragon and Omen Speaker being here are both good signs, too, because those are both perfectly playable cards in this color combination, but I think we take the Drake. Okay, so I think we take Anticipate. It gets better the more things like Enigma Drake and Salvager of Secrets we have, the payoffs for having instants or sorceries. It's not great, but it's fine. It does not work with Psychic Corrosion. I think I've played against someone who was using Anticipate with Psychic Corrosion, and I think they thought it was going to work, but because it doesn't say draw a card, you don't actually, even though you are basically drawing a card, it doesn't say you draw a card. You look at 3 and put 1, so you don't get to mill off of it. Yeah. So looks like we're blue-red spells pretty securely. We've seen decent, yeah, and here's a Divination. I think we take it over a Deersmith Guardian. Yeah, I do like Deersmith Guardian. I mean, I think in any deck with a decent number of blue creatures, it's a nice card. It definitely gets better in a deck that has a lot of artifacts. Goes well with this guy, for example. I think we take Totally Lost, though. We're not going to play enough artifacts for Scholar of Stars to be good. And Totally Lost, while not exciting, is probably going to make the cut. Take a Mind Rot for our sideboard. Okay, Wall of Mist, sure. I mean, if we can lock down the ground, and, Ghost Form's also not completely horrendous, depending on what we end up with, but if we can lock down the ground and win in the air with things like Enigma Drake and Horizon Scholar, I think we're fine with it. Red, it is worth noting, isn't crazy open right now. We've seen a few signs that it is. So, we're not locked into red if we see something really good. And Grave Marshal's pretty good. Is it enough to pull me out of red-blue, though? Don't think it is when there's a shock in the pack. I mean, it is a really good card, admittedly, the Marshal, because it's like a way better version of Omen Speaker because it's a 2-mana creature that's good at all stages, and it's way better in the late game than Omen Speaker because it just turns your graveyard into creatures. But I think we take Shock. It's just a great removal spell. It works well with Enigma Drake and Salvager of Secrets, and that, I think, makes me happy. There's another Psychic Corrosion. Which with Divination is pretty gross, but yeah, so we'll take Shock. Okay, so there's another Divination. It's also a Millstone. And Totally Lost, Tormenting Voice. These things are all fine, but I think I'd probably take a Snapping Drake. Another Flyer seems good. Divination's nice, Tormenting Voice. If any of these come back, we'd be happy to take them, but I think we'd like another creature here. It's not an exciting one, but it is a solid one. So the question is, do we want another Disperse or a Brute? Brute's definitely better if we're an aggressive deck, but it's good in any deck. I think I take the Brute. I mean, Disperse is nice, but the Brute, I think, is just going to do more. And it also doesn't hurt to have a little bit of Goblins in case we see a Volley Veteran. Yeah. We can pick up some later Disperses and Walls of Mist and stuff like that, I think, too. Okay, here I think we take a Dragon. I mean, it's not really much to think about. Totally, well, never mind. I didn't realize there was a Sift. We're taking Sift. There is something to think about. Sift is really good. And we do have the makings of a Psychic Corrosion deck, so keep an eye on that, especially now that we have a second Wall of Mist. I might go for Psychic Corrosion here if we see it. I mean, obviously our deck can win without Psychic Corrosion, with flyers basically. But the more things like Sift and Divination we have, the more ridiculous Psychic Corrosion can get. Well, back's not great. You know, there are really good cards in it, namely Regal Bloodlord, but we're not there at all, obviously. And Scholar of Stars, again, is really nice if you have artifacts. We don't. I'm kind of leaning towards the Bookcase. It gives us another wall. It also gives us sort of another win condition to send through an unblockable, like Enigma Drake or something. Don't like Catalyst Elemental. So I think we take the Bookcase. I mean, Uncomfortable Chill's not bad, especially if we end up in a Psychic Corrosion deck. But I have a feeling somebody's probably... We didn't see that other one wheel, so that second one's probably not. I think I'm going to take the Bookcase. Okay, this is nice. It's another spell payoff for us, and it's just a good card anyway, but it's going to be really good in our deck. Okay, Goblin Motivator, not so good in our deck. I very rarely end up with decks in this format that have like less than 17 creatures, but I think we're going to do it here because, you know, yeah, we have so many spells. And, you know, a deck like that doesn't really want Sure Strike, doesn't really want Goblin Motivator. Those both need a maximum number of creatures to be good. Lava Axe is okay, especially when you have Salvager of Secrets. But I could also take a Smelt for the sideboard. But I think I'll take my first Axe. I don't know if it's going to make the cut, but it might. And Smelt's definitely not going to make the main board cut. Although Lava Axe is probably never going to get sighted in either if we don't play it. But we would like some Lightning Strikes and stuff. Not a huge Cancel fan. Essence Scatter is another story. I think we take a Hostile Minotaur here. Cancel, it's just too clunky of a counterspell that if your opponent plays around, you're just in trouble. So we could think about Millstone as an alternate win condition if, you know, we can't win with flyers or whatever. But it is really slow and really mana intensive. Maybe I'd just rather have a Tormenting Voice. I think I would. I would really like to pick up some more spell payoffs to really have this Tormenting Voice be good, but it's fine anyway. Crash Through is another card where we need more like Enigma Drakes and Aven Wind Mages for it to be at its best. But I think it's going to be more likely to be good in our deck than Sure Strike, so I think we take it. I think ideally we probably don't play Lava Axe. I mean, we may not want to play this the way our deck's turning out. Most of our best creatures are evasive anyway. So, yeah, I think we can start with those over there. And Crash Through only makes it if we end up with a lot of spell payoffs. Ooh, I do like that this came back. Another flyer. Yeah, another Crash Through. Instigator, in the end, hasn't been that great in our deck either. Isn't going to be that great in our deck, but it's fine. I mean, most of the time in this format when I've tried to draft synergy decks like blue-red spells, for example, it hasn't gone super well for me, so it would be nice to break that streak. I did draft a deck that I didn't record, a blue-white artifact deck that I finally had one do an okay job, and it went 2-1, a synergistic deck. Most of my decks in this format have just been like, have a good curve, have good removal, you know, and you've seen that in most of my videos where I've done well. This pack, you know, this card's amazing, but I don't think that's where we want to go. Heroic Reinforcements isn't going to be that good in our deck, even if we could splash it, because we don't have a lot of creatures. Highland Lake is nice, but I think we probably just take a Havoc Devils. It's not exciting, but it's perfectly fine. There's another Electrify. I think we take that over another Divination. Yeah. I would like another Divination. I wouldn't mind Gargoyle Sentinel either. But our deck is going to be better the more things like Electrify we have to buy back with Salvager of Secrets and to pump Aven Wind Mages and so forth. I wouldn't mind more Salvager of Secrets at this point. Probably don't need to run Totally Lost. We have plenty of other spells. And it's not a great one. I mean, it's good. It gets better against people who are like slapping auras and all their creatures and stuff like that. But I don't think I want it main board. Yeah. I mean, I think in an ideal place, I wouldn't play this either. I mean, I know we picked it, but it's not like we gave up much for it. Ooh, this pack. So I think we probably take the deckhand. It gives us a win condition, an unblockable one potentially, and it can make other things unblockable. I mean, it sucks passing these divinations, but deckhand's better, and it's not like we don't have enough spells to power Enigma Drake and Salvager of Secrets already. I mean, I would love another divination. I would probably anticipate for one going forward. Okay, so here's an Essence Scatter. Metamorphic Alteration is fine. I thought it was going to be better than it was in this format. A lot of people thought it was going to be unplayable. Turns out it's kind of in the middle. I think it's like a C+. There's just board states where it does nothing, and that's always a problem for a card. There are plenty where it does something, but not enough, I don't think. I think we take Essence Scatter. It's great. Part of the reason it's so good is most people run a ton of creatures in this format. It's also good because it costs so little. 3 and 2 don't seem like a big difference, but it's actually a massive difference in terms of efficiency for a counterspell. So if you're only leaving up 2 mana, it's a lot less painful than leaving up 3 and having them play around it. I think we take Aven Windmage here. I mean, again, Gearsmith Guardian's nice, but Aven Windmage for sure. I would like another Enigma Drake. Please. I'd actually probably cut... Ooh. Hello. Got this late. Yeah. Patient Rebuilding is really strong. I think it's first pickable a lot of the time. You do need a deck that can stall. I think we have that in place. It can just mill your opponent out. And even if you don't kill them with milling, it's going to draw you enough cards that if you're ahead on board or even at parity, you're probably going to win the game at that point. Another Aven Windmage. So trimming this deck is going to be fun. I think we end up cutting our Instigator just because it's not going to be doing what we want it to do. Probably cut Hostile Minotaur. It's one of our worst creatures. Okay, Dwindle Skyscanner. Skyscanner's nice. Dwindle's fine, but when we have better removal around, I'm less inclined to take it. The question is, though, will Skyscanner make the cut? Right now, I don't know if it would. It would if we had taken we really should have taken both of those Psychic Corrosions. Hindsight's 2020, because with Patient Rebuilding and all the card draw we have, it would have been good. I think I'd actually take the Dwindle. I mean, it's still removal. It can deal with creatures that some of our other removal spells just can't. Granted, it can't deal with some creatures that these can, because like creatures with activated abilities and stuff, it's horrible against. But big 6/6s, it's better than Electrify, right? So sometimes you want it. So do we want another Wall of Mist? Totally Lost, Tormenting Voice. I don't know if any of these make the cut. I don't think they do. Which is a better sideboard card? I mean, I think both of these are reasonable sideboard cards. I think I'll take the Wall. Reliquary Tower. Yeah, okay. No. Whole bunch of mediocre, which is about what you expect at this point. Yeah, we got to trim this thing down. It looks good, though. This Patient Rebuilding really lifted it up. I mean, we were already in pretty good shape, but that Patient Rebuilding made this deck a lot stronger. Yeah. I think maybe we probably lose one of these random spells. I'll take a foil Doom Dissenter. And then maybe like a Havoc Devils. I mean, most of our creatures... I guess I'll take another Havoc Devils, but I don't know that I'm going to play the first one. This is more likely to get sided in. It's not bad against a deck filled with 2/2s, like bringing in Tolarian Scholar isn't too bad, but it doesn't match up super well in this format. Like a 2-mana 1/3 is a lot better than a 3-mana 2/3 in this format, I think. Okay, so we got to cut something. Let's group creatures separately because it does kind of matter here now that we ended up with 3 Wind Mages. We'd like to avoid cutting too much stuff down here, but I think we probably cut one of either Tormenting Voice or Anticipate, and then, yeah, probably cut Havoc Devils. Yeah. The question is it better than the Brute? I don't think so. The Brute is considerably more evasive, and we can, we have removal, bounce spells that can make the Brute get in for damage the same way a Flyer basically would. So I think I like it better. We have a lot of evasion up here. The few creatures we do have are evasive. Or, you know, get us a card back or block well or whatever. So, Tormenting Voice or Anticipate. I kind of like Tormenting Voice a little more. The nice thing about Anticipate is it is an instant, so shenanigans with Aven Windmage are possible, where you get, like, crazy value. But I think the thing I like about Tormenting Voice more is it's well, I want to say it's better in the late game, but I don't know that it really is, in the sense that this lets you see more cards. This digs you 2 cards deep, so it gives you more cards, like, but you have to toss a land. It probably makes our mana better if we cut the Tormenting Voice, because we don't have that many red cards. So yeah, I'll cut the Tormenting Voice in the end. Don't know how I feel about that. I do like it more than Anticipate, but I don't know that I'm right in feeling that way. So yeah, we'll go with this 12-5. I don't know about that. I mean, we're short on red. We're not that short on red. I think we go 10-7, and that's probably plenty. We have blue ways to try to hit the second red, although we kind of need 3 red sometimes for the Spark-Tongue Dragon, but that's fine. By the time we get to 8 mana, having 3 red won't be that hard between scrying and drawing extra cards and stuff. So I think this is our deck, and I think it looks pretty sweet. I'll see you guys in our first match. All right, so going into our first match, we would like to play first. I think this hand's okay. I mean, I guess we're on the play, as we just chose to go first, so not hitting lands could be a big issue. But, I mean, we do have the Disperse. Should I keep this? Yeah, probably not. Right, this is better. The nice thing about Omen Speaker is it makes, you know, this hand would be pretty mediocre if this was just a random 2-drop, but because it's not, it's actually a pretty reasonable hand, because we can figure out whatever it is we need, probably spells at this point, you know, and bottom lands. Okay. Omen Speaker. Black with artifacts makes me always wonder if someone's playing Phylactery Lich. Yeah, there you go. No, thank you. It's also entirely possible they were low on removal, so they're running Explosive Apparatus. That happens sometimes. Okay. Omen Speaker's gonna do what it does best. Get in for 1. So our Boggart Brute just straight up dies to the Apparatus, but I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, if we look at it, our opponent will have spent 4 mana total to kill our Boggart Brute with Explosive Apparatus. So we kind of come out ahead there. Yeah, that looks like what's going to happen. Not a land. Come on. We scried 2 to the bottom. Don't give us another one. Good job. Okay, so I think we attack with both. I think this is going to eat the Apparatus. If not, I'm probably going to play Aven Windmage and it'll eat the Apparatus. So, no. Oh, okay. Interesting. So that can block my Omen Speaker, obviously. We go to 13. All right, we're going to play another creature who dies to Apparatus, but that's okay. Some of our spells would be nice. As would, like, Patient Rebuilding. This is the kind of state where it would be really good because we're just sort of in limbo. The board state is not really... It's developing, so even though it's as late as it is... Ugh. Salvager of Secrets is great, but not so much when you don't have any spells in your graveyard. God, I wish I had a spell to use. That may, because of that, yeah, I was gonna say, because of that, they may actually decide to leave my Windmage alive, because if I could completely blank their Apparatus, that would really hurt them. I don't think I play Salvager of Secrets. Sure, it could block the 3/2, but I don't think there's enough. I don't think I want to give up the potential value yet. Okay, see, now we have something to do to get back with Salvager of Secrets. For now, I don't think we do anything with it, but I think we just keep racing here. Well, do we use Disperse on our own creature? Mainboard Plummet's interesting. Do we do that? I'm sort of leaning towards a no. Yeah, I don't think we do. So our opponent has 4 mana, but they haven't been able to do much with it. Sort of interesting. Okay, well, Ravenous Harpy will be interesting against Disperse. Ugh. For now, though, we're probably just going to take 4 to the face here. Okay, so because I have the mana to play Salvager and do Disperse, I think I'm going to Disperse the Ravenous Harpy here at the end of their turn. Okay, well, now I have the mana to shock and then get it back and shock again. So I think that's probably better. So shock Hired Blade. Get back shock. I almost wish I hadn't bounced the Harpy, but they have 1 mana up, so they would have been able to kind of screw me over there. But that was a pretty good turn either way. Interesting. Okay, they get back both the creatures we killed. God, I'm glad we scribed those 2 islands to the bottom. It would have been way worse. Okay. Another one of those. Oh, well, that's actually the same one, but you know what I mean. Well, I think we lose game 1 here. Opponent had removal when they needed it. Sub-Hired Blade. I mean, luckily I can trade with either of these Judes. Yeah, so I block the Hired Blade, who will probably then get sacrificed. Maybe not. They may want to kill. Yeah, they want to kill my Salvager. So I go to 3. Double Ravenous Harpy. What? Do I have anything that can help here? No. That is when Essence Scatter's bad. Okay. Didn't get to put up much of a fight there. Flyers, huh? I mean, we have plenty of our own. I think that's our main way of stopping them. Yeah, I don't think we really can offer anything that will really help us. If we were looking at a lot of early X1s, I'd like side in the Instigator. That's about it. All right, I would like to play first. This is a good one. Couple Walls of Mist to protect us early, a spell, and an Enigma Drake to maybe win the game for us later. Opponent does have main board, freaking Plummet, so they may have even sided in an additional one, so that's a little annoying, but that's okay. I'm guessing because they have those Harpies, they must have, yeah, I think we play Enigma Drake. They must have Doomed Dissenters and the like who can really, or maybe the black, green, gold card. Well, it looks like this time we're not going to have a way to punish them for starting slow. Nope. We just play out a bunch of defensive creatures while they can't do anything. Look at all my 0 power creatures. Ugh. That's not what you want to be doing early, but, you know, as soon as they play something, we can electrify it and have a 1/4. Assuming it's worth electrifying. Okay, we can get electrify back. See, maybe, you know, so far, anyway, you know, and it's very early and things haven't, oh, good, Plummet. Things haven't exactly gone our way anyway, but, you know, it feels like trying to be the spells deck, just when I could just be an aggressive deck, really punishing them for starting so slow just seems wrong. That said, we, you know, not drawing... Ooh, there we go. That's the kind of guy we want to see. All right, end our turn. So I don't see any reason to electrify the Courser because that, however, does need to get electrified because of Death Touch. So we'll electrify it. Draw our deckhand, play our deckhand. It's not, I mean, I can make this unblockable right now, but I think I'd rather leave up mana for electrify in case they play something I feel like I really need to kill. Like that. It's like tempting to wait till he sacks something to it, but I think we just kill it right away. I think that's optimal here. Ooh, yeah. Now we're getting our threats, which is good. So attack with Unblockable Man. Play another creature who hopefully doesn't get plummeted. Oh, good. We can at least get back Electrify, but we're not going to be able to use them both in the same turn. So also Disperse. So that's interesting. I think we attack with Wind Mage and Deckhand here. All right, yeah, we're not going to use Disperse yet. Yeah, I mean, I think we let this exist for now, and I play a Salvager to get back a Electrify. No mana up for Disperse, but I think that's okay. You know, this kind of deck, I literally love the feel of playing, you know, getting back stuff from my graveyard, casting a bunch of spells for value. That all feels really good to me. It's just, hasn't seemed great in this format. Ooh, hello there. I don't know that I'm actually going to want to cast you right this second. I think we go to combat and see what happens first. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, they could double block this, but I could cast 2 spells if I really wanted to. It looks like they're going to single block it, in which case I think I cast Disperse on this, which will make this a 3/3. Prowess or pseudo prowess. So bounce that to their hand, kill this, get in for 2 more damage. Leave up mana for Electrify, should that be necessary. So, you know, hindsight being 2020, I would have also made the Salvager unblockable, but, you know, I wanted to leave up Electrify too in case I really needed to do something like that. There's the Dissenter that I figured they probably had alongside their very annoying Harpy. Right now, I think we can play Patient Rebuilding and start getting things rolling here. Yeah, I guess I'll attack first. I don't think it'll matter at all, but... So we attack for 4. Unfortunately, this isn't real prowess. Prowess is actually being phased out. Basically, Mark Rosewater's hinted at it a lot. I'm actually doing a top 10 on prowess later this week because of that, and talking more about the fact that it's at least as an evergreen keyword disappearing, and this is one of the illustrations of that fact. But yeah, now we'll play Patient Rebuilding and use it to, you know, draw a bunch of cards. Milling them, sure, but the drawing the cards is a lot more important. Harpy's back, but it doesn't concern me a whole lot. All right, so chances are we draw at least 1 card off of this. Their deck does have some graveyard synergy, so there's a chance milling something is less than ideal, but we'll see. Okay, they decided they wanted to gain that life right away. Works for me. All right, Patient Rebuilding happens. Yeah, we drew 2 cards. And, okay. So, I think we just attack with these 2 guys again. We also milled a Strangling Spores, which I don't mind. Okay, I'm a little surprised to see them do that. So I'm going to cast Anticipate, which will then make them force them to sack another creature. At which point I can then use Electrify to kill probably this, because that's not what they're going to sacrifice, and then still make this big enough to survive, to kill this in combat. So that'll be a pretty good exchange for us. And who knows what we'll see with Anticipate. Who knows? Yeah, so they're doing that, which, sure. First, let's see what we get off of Anticipate. So I think this blowout, the game won't be over, but I think it'll basically secure one because, you know, we're going to get a ton of value out of it. Makes me miss real prowess. Okay, we'll take another Wind Mage, please. And then we'll electrify that. So we kill your Harpy, we kill your Centaur, you go to 9. We still have Patient Rebuilding in play, and all of that is very good. Yeah, these Wind Mages. I've played a lot of Wind Mages in this format. I mean, it's a decent card, but this is definitely the deck where I've gotten those triggers the most. I mean, I've already gotten them 3 times, right? Yeah, Gravedigger. Sure. Gonna get back a Harpy. Fine with me. All right, so mill away. Okay, we get a Shock, which is also going to be good with our Wind Mages. Okay, so if we have 8 mana, I'm probably just going to play both of these flyers and shock instead of making something else unblockable here. I don't even really need to make this unblockable. It can just attack on this board. So I think that's what we do. Making something unblockable would have gotten me in for 3 more damage. Not really worth it there. Okay, so I think we play Wind Mage and Drake and leave up the mana for shock. And those plummets are good against us, unfortunately. Now our opponent definitely knows that. Okay. Those Walls of Mist were pretty good there. I mean, it makes 3/3s like that look pretty bad, but I mean, I think I'd rather hold on to a few, you know, like Omen Speaker and stuff. Yeah. Our deck, oh, it does have this as a rare, that's right. So we do have 1 rare. Okay, this is a solid hand. It's not an amazing hand, but it's fine. We don't want them to get off to a fast start, certainly, but we need to draw us into some of our spells, but we will. There's somewhere in there. Okay. So we'll probably play the Drake first because it can block Highland Game. Also draw out a Plummet that they surely have. It can probably also block whatever 3-drop they play right here. If they play like a Courser. Like that, yeah. So if they have a Plummet here, it is going to hurt a fair amount. I gotta say, because if they kill this with a Plummet and hit me for 5, I'm in some serious trouble. We haven't seen combat tricks out of them, so maybe this is wrong. I mean, maybe nothing can go wrong. I don't think it can. I think if they have a Plummet, that's the thing that can go wrong for us. Good. Looks like I was right. Okay, so the question is, do I play a Snapping Drake who can't effectively block either of these, especially for 4 mana, or do I play a Brute who can trade with either of them? I think we probably play the Snapping Drake and end our turn. Next turn, probably just play the Brute, but we'll see. Oh, good, Ravenous Harpy. Okay, yeah, so I think we just do the same thing. Take the 2 from the Highland Game, block the 3/3. Okay, now I think we do just play both of these. The Deckhand and the Brute. Yeah. Question is, do I attack with Snapping Drake here? I think I do. Yeah, I'll attack with it. And then, yeah, play the Brute. Play the Deckhand. And in my turn. So I'm pretty okay trading the Brute for the Centaur Courser at this point. So yeah. Blood Divination, okay. Yeah, drawing extra cards is annoying. We do have more traditional divination in our hand, and that's probably what we do if we don't draw a land for our Horizon Scholar here. Yeah, so I don't really need to trade, though. And yeah, losing the Drake would suck, but I'm not that concerned about it. I think we say bring it on. Yeah, okay. Right, we drew the land, so I think we do play Horizon Scholar rather than the other option. I think we attack with all three of these. They can't effectively block any of them. Yeah, they could trade with no, yeah, they could trade with this, but they'd have to 2-for-1 themselves, so yeah. So Horizon Scholar. I don't feel like I really need Anticipate. Dwindle I'm happy to have, though, because, yeah, removal. I can play Divination and Dwindle next turn. Now, it is worth noting, Dwindle's pretty bad against this unless I have to basically put it on the Ravenous Heartbeat. I don't really have a choice because it's so mediocre against everything else. So I think we'll cast Divination first. Okay, and yeah, then we'll put Dwindle on Ravenous Harpy. And that means we can attack pretty much with these three without being concerned. I can even attack with this, but it does, yeah, it's not great against, against Dwindle because they can declare the block and, then this dies and then this kills the other thing, but it's not really a 2-for-1 because I've already used a card. I mean, it does still thin out their board, though. Yeah, what the hell? Let's do it. I still get to kill one of these creatures with it. It's a way to look at it. And essentially this killed another, two 1-for-1s is what we're looking at. Could block, yeah, as I say, they could block this too. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Go to 7. We are 1 mana away from Salvager of Secrets and Divination in the same turn. Oh, God. I mean, I still think we can beat that, but it is not what I was hoping to see here. All right, so yeah, we can hit them for 6. We can hit them for 7 even. I think I'm going to play Omen Speaker first. He does have Trample. That's the best part of all of this. Okay, ooh, yeah, Disperse isn't great against him, but it does have its uses. Probably not going to use it against him because we don't really want them to gain a bunch more life. Okay, so I think we hit for the 7 that we can hit them for because that means we have lethal next turn. Yeah, so hit for 7. Can we beat Pelakka Wurm? Well, we're going to find out. Then we're going to play Salvager of Secrets, get back Divination, and end our turn. It's worth noting, too, Departed Deckhand can help me by making basically anything I need to be unblockable. So getting in for 7 here isn't that hard. It depends, though. If they play like a giant spider, I think we're still okay, actually, because of this. And, you know, they don't have that many, they won't have that many blockers to begin with. So we know we're going to draw Disperse. So we can get this to 2 power, too, without too much effort. Aw, crap. They're getting back more ways to gain life and such, which complicates our lives a little. Just a little. They tapped their mana wrong, so they didn't get to also play the Bloodletter. So Disperse will get a blocker out of the way, and we might want to do this one because of the damage we want to be able to do. So we'll see. So we will cast... Is it right to cast Divination first? Then I can only use this ability once. But that should be plenty. If they have a Plummet, things might get ugly, but... Okay. That makes things interesting. So now I don't really need to use the ability. I think we just go ahead and disperse one of these blockers. Makes us have 2 power. I guess the Highland game, because I don't really want to deal with the life gain. Okay, and then we can attack with this. Yeah, we got there. All right, we won our first match. See if we can win the next 2. All right, this is a hand that I think we want to keep. Essence Scatter is like the kind of thing that, you know, we're not able to do anything else on turn 2 right now anyway. So the question is, are they just sort of a defensive white deck that likes playing Novice Knight, or are they about to slap a disgusting aura on him? I've mostly seen people doing the former, but I do know that people do the latter. And they're green-white, so putting an aura on him, yeah, it doesn't surprise me too much. We need to draw a way to kill that ASAP, or it will very quickly kill us. We do have our bounce spells. Bounce spells and Electrify are basically the only way we can do it, I think. So that's a little scary. If we get to Essence Scatter something here, I think we do it because we don't have anything else to do with our mana. So we'll take the 3 here. Hey, there's our bounce spell. I think we hold off on it for now. I can take another hit. Or 2 even. If he piles even more and more auras on it, that's great. The bad news is Talons can come back later, so it's not like a surefire way to deal with this problem. It's a way to delay the problem. Oh, good. I love Draconic Disciple when it's on my side, anyway. Yeah, not looking good. Too quick of a start out of our opponent. Sift is tempting. Yeah, I think we Sift. It's a little scary with the amount of damage staring down at us, but I think it's the right thing to do. We gotta find some more things. Oh, yeah. Okay. Discard that land. And, yeah, I think we end our turn. I doubt he attacks with the Disciple, but I'm happy to trade with it if it attacks us. So, Totally Lost gets a lot better against an opponent playing auras. That's something to keep in mind. All right, we take 3 here. All right, I think we go for this block. If they have a trick, then that's fine. They do not. All right, Wall of Mist is actually really good against this nonsense. I forgot about it. Okay, well, that's nice. So I think we go Omen Speaker. See what we got going on top of our library. Maybe we slide in a 3rd Wall of Mist here. Oh, Patient Rebuilding is going to be too slow in this game. most likely. If we find a way to stabilize, I guess I don't mind having it. The Brute's going to be fine too. Yeah, I guess we just leave things as is, but don't feel overjoyed about what's on top of our library, that's for sure. Yeah, third Wall of Mist against a deck that's planning on running out 3-4 Novice Knights on turn 2. It's probably a good idea. So, like, they can attack, and I can only block once, and then they can use the Pyromancer to finish it, or they could just play Luminous Bonds. That works, too. All right, so we'll block here, and we'll take 3. We've got 1 card left, so that's good news. All right, so here I think we play the Wind Mage, because then when we use Disperse, we can get the fake Prowess trigger. Seems pretty reasonable to me. Fake Prowess. My favorite Prowess. Okay, well, fine. Yeah, we'll go ahead and disperse the dude. All it'll do is slow things down, but I think I'm okay with that. We have Patient Rebuilding next, so if we can continue to stall, we should be able to draw more cards than they can. So yeah, they have the mana to just... Oh, they don't actually. They have to wait a whole turn. Not that makes a huge difference because he can't attack right now anyway. So, but still. Okay, so... Yeah, we'll go ahead and play Patient Rebuilding here. I don't know if I have the time for that, but I'm going to try. I think we have to leave back both blockers because this can kill something, and yeah. Oh boy. That's fun. Well, we drew the full 2 cards. Well, not full. We drew 2 cards off of it, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I can take down the Gasbark Twins if I dedicate a lot of resources to it. Thanks to Electrify plus Prowess. Actually, it's just 2 cards. So it's not that many resources. Okay, so they play their Vines. Trying to decide if it's best to just electrify this dude here now. Problem is this can kill something too once I do declare blocks, including the Wind Mage. So that plan has some issues. Okay, I think we go ahead and cast Electrify on it. Maybe, yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think I should have held on to Electrify. This Pyromancer is making our lives a living hell, though. Yeah, it's going to kill... Yeah, kills our Wind Mage there. So, we can survive, but not by much. I think I just block with Omen Speaker and go to 1. And hope we draw a bunch of extra cards here. And that they don't have shock or something. Ooh, yeah. That doesn't help us. Yeah. We get trampled over and killed. Okay, so there's definitely some sideboarding that looks like it's going to be pretty good here. I think bringing in another Wall of Mist seems like a good idea, and I think even maybe bringing in Totally Lost is a good idea. If they're playing that expensive of creatures, it's going to come in handy. But what do we cut? Would I rather just have the raw stats than Omen Speaker's ability? Yeah, I guess I think in this matchup I would. And maybe Spark Tongue Dragon. I mean, Salvager. No, I don't think so. Yeah, let's cut the dragon. Okay, I think this is fine. So, yeah, I mean, that was a game where patient rebuilding, it was just too late. I mean, we could have been lucky with the extra drawing we got off of it and found our way out of that situation, but we were just in a really, really bad situation, so it was hard to make it work. Man, they love their auras and equipment. We will anticipate. I think we would like the creature, please. You guys can go away. Yeah, there we go. Double Aven Wind Mage. If we can get them going early, we can do some serious damage. We have an Electrify this time for an early creature, which is pretty nice. That's not the kind of creature I'm going to use Electrify on, but... So we'll attack. You can give stuff haste. That is really, can be really obnoxious, but the fact that it also has the axe on it means that he's giving up a little potential damage too. So I think for now I'm just going to play the Wind Mage, and then next turn we can think about Electrify, Disperse, all those things, and how we might be able to use them. Okay, they're ramping. All right, well, I think I probably just attack for 4 here. So they're going to be at 5 mana. Okay. So I think we just Electrify that spider. Take 3 here. If I waited till my turn to do it, I would have gotten in for 2 more damage. And if I draw a land here, I'm really going to wish I did that. Now I really wish I'd done that. But I did that in the hopes that we'd draw something else to do there, which we didn't. So there you go. With Disperse, it's cheap enough. I probably will wait unless it's something that I absolutely have to do like immediately. So... Okay. Is that worth dispersing? Maybe. I mean, especially because dispersing... Oh, now it definitely is. I think we hold off. There's no reason to use it now. We still get rid of the aura. So the reason we hold off is because we get in for 2 additional damage in doing so, and we have so much mana that we can play most things we draw and disperse in the same turn, unlike the Electrify situation. Yeah, like that. So we're going to go Disperse. Attack for 6, and then play Boggart Brute, which will effectively give us another evasive creature, another flyer, basically. So they're going to be in some danger of taking lethal if they decide to attack with that Motivator again. Of course, if I'd used that Electrify on my turn, would have been different, but... So if they replay this guy, and that's all they got, we're, I think, fairly happy. Yeah. Giving him haste. Then moving the axe to him? Oh no, playing a Resplendent freaking Angel. Thank God I just drew that Totally Lost. Okay, so Totally Lost wins us the game, yeah. So get out of here. You. There were a few things I could draw, but not that many. That was some thinking outside the box, giving him haste just so he could get the white mana there for the Resplendent Angel. I think the way we sided is sound. Obviously, Totally Lost came up. Disperse would have been just as good there, or our Electrify. And that's about it. I guess our guy who gets stuff back from the graveyard could have done it. Yeah, I think this is a keep. We got an early Wall of Mist, early Deckhand who puts a serious clock on the opponent. We definitely, and we do draw a third land already. I think for early, we're actually going to go Deckhand Windmage and just start the clock rolling. And then, you know, when we need to, we'll deploy our defenses. So play our Deckhand. If we can get, you know, 2 unblockable creatures on the board with 2 power on turn 2, between turn 2 and turn 3, we're in pretty good shape, I think. Militia Bugler. Miss. Sky Scanner. That's annoying. Sift will be nice later, especially because I can buy it back even later. Attack for 2 that they can't do anything about. And play one of our Wind Mages. Question is, do we Sift or play another Wind Mage next turn or play a Wall of Mist? There's a lot of options. We definitely don't want to see one of those Angels. We're gonna, if they played an Angel, I probably would Sift because I need to find an Electrify or die to it, basically. Oh, Giant Spider, ruining my life. Okay, well, fine then. I will just attack for 2. And then I think I play Wall of Mist now. Totally Lost will open up a whole bunch of damage later, but I think for now it's time to stop getting hit by things. Aw. Yep, that'll kill him. Okay. I think we just play another Wind Mage and end our turn. With a plan involving Totally Lost, bouncing Giant Spider, and swinging for 6 being probably what we do next turn. One of these days we'll get to Sift too. Although we won't actually get to swing for 6, I just realized, because of Sky Scanner ruining my life. Put it on your spider. Put it on the spider, man. It'll be fine. Put your talons on your spider. Do it. Do it. Yeah. Now I can't really resist Totally Lost. Depends what I draw. Yeah, you're still using Totally Lost here. So Totally Lost, this spider is. Then we're going to attack with both 3/3s. I'm sure they block one with Skyscanner. Wow, they don't. They go to 10. I'm down with that. So they're going to draw their spider again. And they don't have the mana to draw the spider, get back the Talons, and play the Talons. But they do have the mana to play something really, really scary, whatever it might be. Could be a lot of things. Yeah, they did kind of need to play the spider. And yeah, they returned their Talons. So do I play Salvager of Secrets here, get back Totally Lost, or do I Sift, still be able to attack here and get in for 3, and who knows what I'll draw? I think Sift seems better. If I draw another spell, then we're in business, especially when I can play, obviously, then we're in business. Ooh, we did it. Okay. All right. Well, we definitely attack. Feels like I'm playing Khans of Tarkir. We have so many Aven Wind Mages. Okay. That's going to work out pretty well for us because it's still not going to die. Because I've anticipated. Oh, man, it feels good. Reminds me of Pyrehound, too, from, what was that, Shadows over Innistrad? So we just murder that spider. Ooh, yes. Oh, never mind. I don't get all of them. I was thinking I was scrying. That's okay. That's all right. The Electrify will be very, 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 very good. So I can't complain a whole lot about it. 2 Electrifies would be better, but... Wall of Mist, man, has been pretty key here. Okay, if that's all they got, we just electrify that and swing for 6, right? I mean, can still electrify it and swing for 6, so we just won. Yeah, that's the danger in suiting up your dudes. Is all the 2-for-1s and Talons. These both combat 2-for-1s by giving you some value, but it's not going to matter here. See you later, buddy. And then we attack for 6. Yeah. Aven Wind Mages, man. They're on my overlay for a reason. All right, trying to go for that 5th trophy. See you guys in the next match. Well, this is an interesting hand here in match 3. I think it's a keep. Departed deck hand coming down early and being unblockable can single-handedly win games if your opponent just can't answer it. And we do have removal, and we're on the draw. So I think all of that means I think it's an okay keep. It's not a great one. You know, if we get flooded, God forbid, yeah, good we didn't. Probably use this on whatever creature they cast on turn 3. The thing to keep in mind about counter spells and limited generally is you just cast them when you can. So waiting for something specific isn't always a good idea because it's usually better for you to be advancing your board than hoping they're going to cast something you can counter. Oh, damn it. I mean, you know, it's not the end of the world, but... So, you know, as soon as they play a creature... See, here on now I'm going to play an Aven Wind Mage. So I'll use Essence Scatter later. Slow start here. And we're probably going to get to Essence Scatter whatever the first creature they cast is. So, yeah, so we'll attack for 2 here. Theoretically, yeah, we do. So we've been doing a good job drawing. We've drawn 2 non-lands, and that's about what we wanted. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Doesn't feel great, but I'm doing it. I could have maybe held on to it, especially because there's a pretty decent chance that I just, like, still don't have anything I can do this turn. But it looks like I do, so that's good. It wasn't a clear-cut case like I was talking about. Like, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm playing a 2-drop. I don't have anything to do on turn 3, but I have a 4-drop and a 5-drop. You basically need to cast the Essence Scatter on their 3-drop if they play one. Because when you get into trouble with counter spells is when you keep hoping your opponent's going to do something that you can play around, that you can counter. That's really great, basically, and you can't always do that. Right, so I don't think we do anything other than attack here. The good news is if they have Rabid Bite or whatever, which is what Daggerback's really good with, we can just disperse the Daggerback Basilisk and get a 2-for-1. It's not really a 2-for-1. Tempo. A tempo and a 1-for-1. Basically is what we get. Right now I think we're back in the area where waiting to cast Disperse on our turn is probably worth it in most scenarios here. Damn. I think they must have kept a hand kind of like mine and had less luck after they did, like a 5-lander. They're thinking about doing something. Okay. All right, we get in for the 2, and this Omen Speaker is going to be great, given the boards, the sparse board state here, because it can help me find what I need. I was going to say, they could have Essence Scatters too, and that's why they haven't cast anything. Yeah, I'll take a Snapping Drake, please. We just take another 2 here if he attacks, and he does. Dwindle. Okay, well, can't do anything about that. I mean, I could disperse my own creature, but that's hardly worth it. All right, so we're going to attack with Omen Speaker here. Play a Snapping Drake. Maybe. Ooh, that's dying in a hurry. Firing off Electrify on that doesn't feel great, admittedly, but I can't let that live. They'll draw too many cards. The reason it doesn't feel great is because they've paid so little mana for it, but I can't let them untap and draw 2 cards, basically, which is what we'd be looking at. I mean, I could hold off on it and try to use it on my turn, but we have the same problem where if I draw a reasonably expensive spell, I mean, I guess I do have 8 mana. Okay, well, that answers that question. Get that guy off the board, get rid of Rabid Bite. Our creature does not die. They're down to 1 dude. So now we have to cast Electrify on our turn. Oh. Okay. Well, that worries me a lot less. Did they make a mistake there? No. They made it a 1/3. Oh, yeah. Hey, look. Another one of those. Okay, so we're going to attack with both our 1/3s. Then I think we cast Electrify on this. And then we're going to play another Aven Windmage. We're out of gas. They're not. But we do know one of the cards in their hand. So, okay, Gasbark Twins. So we're going to Divine. And then we're going to Anticipate. Ooh, Enigma Drake's good right now. Better than the Windmage. Okay, so if we attack, you're 5/4 right now. So I'll have lethal in the air next turn, most scenarios. So I think I'd just attack with Windmage here. I could throw both of these in there. Like, what are they going to do? Yeah, throw them both in there. They're not going to block. Dude has Trample. Oh, you know, that was bad because he can block both of them. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters a little, and it could end up coming up if they manage to survive after the next turn. But yeah, that was bad. I'm trying to get, one more damage makes a difference, but I'm not going to get in for one more damage because it can block 2 creatures. It's part of the card that doesn't come up that often because usually it is smashing people in the face. The turn it comes up is when you play it. So, I'm trying to give you excuses. There's not really a good one. That was bad. That was bad. They're like thinking about it because they think maybe I have something up my sleeve, I think. Because who would attack into the Gasbark Twins? Answer is me. It'd be funny if they just take it. What can I do with 3 mana that could take down a Gasbark Twins that I wouldn't have already done, like bouncing it? Not much. This dude looks like it should have reach as well. It doesn't, so that's good. Wow. Yeah. Did they get disconnected? Because, yeah, it should just be them being like, they made a mistake. Block both. Maybe they're doing something else at the same time. But the important thing here is we're getting in for 4 with the Windmage, and then we're going to play Enigma Drake, who's lethal on its own. So they have to have a reach creature, their own flyer. There aren't a ton of things that can help them not die. There are some, though. There are certainly some. Well, I don't know whether our opponent rage quit or got disconnected. It says they got disconnected, but I think maybe they were frustrated by the divination into Anticipate. We didn't even get to play our Drake, which would have made it even better, but either way, our deck 3-0'd. We got that 5th trophy. This is definitely the quickest I've gotten a 5th trophy in 14 drafts. Is pretty quick. A couple of them I think were a little fluky, but it evens out, I think, because there are definitely times where I've drafted decks that I thought had trophy potential that things went the opposite way. So I do think this deck was pretty good in the end, though. It was it was a little frustrating sometimes in this format not being able to punish people early who started slow. But it ended up working out well. Our deck was grindy. It could win the game late thanks to, Salvager of Secrets and things like that. And we didn't really ever get to, patient rebuilding never really showed what it can really, really do, I don't think. So hopefully I get another chance to play that. But yeah, another trophy. I'll see you guys in the next draft video.